Saturate the shell with vinegar. Then, rub the spot with a paste made from equal parts vinegar and baking soda. You can add a couple tablespoons of vinegar and laundry detergent to a bucket of water and soak the garment overnight if the show persists. Then, rinse and wash. Rinse and wash.
Rinse and wash.
Welcome to The Anomaly, the contradistinct, uncensored, unmonetizable, and deemed unwatchable by the mainstream masses. We are the ones they cannot control and attempt to hold back, but together we form revolution. The Ramborgia. Welcome to John Rambo Presents the Show. Stay ballsy. Don't take any shit from anyone.
When the show intro plays, I expect all listeners to stand with reverence. You do not take the knee, OJ. You stand. And if you
stand
do not,
and be counted.
And if you do not, you should be cursed at and fired from your jobs by the president himself.
I won't deny that's his catchphrase.
So my question to you, young OJ, is not whether people should stand or kneel during the national anthem, because you already know the answer to that. It's common sense. When the things that are going on, you gotta take that knee. You know, that's how you affect change. Move things along.
Okay.
My question is, John.
Yup.
Is why is the national anthem played before sporting events in the first place?
To show national pride, I'd imagine.
So we show national pride at sports, but not other events? Other entertainment options? What are your entertainment options? Where do you go for entertainment?
You know, what would happen if you played that before a movie? That would be really weird. Like, you're about to see Rambo, and it opens with the national anthem. That would actually be kind of messed up.
Well, what is the difference? Is sports essentially entertainment? Movies essentially entertainment? Like when you go to see It, you know, before this clown, you watch this clown try to kill kids. Why don't we play the national anthem, and I assume everyone must stand for it as well? Why doesn't this go on?
I mean, it's a good question.
And some people are like, oh, John's having a laugh. You know, sounds crazy, right? But is it any more ridiculous than let's play this national anthem before these guys throw this ball around? Is it that much different?
Maybe it's because it's the spirit of competition. What other competitions do? I guess do they do it for a hot dog eating contest?
Probably.
Seriously. Like, if they do, then it's because it's competition, and we want to show national pride in our athletes.
Where's that written down? It's got to be for all competitions?
I mean, I'm just guessing that's why it's done.
Are we competing with another nation that we're going to be play our national anthem to show we're better?
I mean, for baseball, sometimes it is Canada.
But all the players are not all Canadian.
No, that's
so
true.
You think it's some competition? Okay, so what does that have to do with it, though?
It's a good question. I don't know what
does that
competition's got to do with it.
Yeah, as OJ breaks up repeatedly here. Are you still there? I don't think he's there. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, you broke up and I lost you.
Oh, I'm sorry. We'll explain why later.
Okay, so why isn't it played more often? How come when you go to work, we don't? I mean, is it for the players or the fans? Because the players are essentially doing their jobs. So when you go to your job, do they play the national anthem before you begin your day?
No, but there is a heavenly choir of angels.
Oh, you're so happy to be there. What do they do at school? In school, you did the pledge?
Yeah, which I'll admit I said wrong on purpose when I was a little kid.
Wow, you were protesting. Protester.
I'd say I pledge allegiance and then not say to what.
The president's going to curse at you, John.
I was a little kid, man. It freaked me out. It felt really weird. Like, why am I pledging my allegiance to I don't understand. Like, is it going to tell me to do things like the leprechaun I hear in my head? I don't get it. So I just it freaked me out.
Well, at Catholic school, you got to do the pledge plus prayers. So that was like a good 40 minutes of the morning, which was kind of good in a way. It was like half the day of school, just reciting things, chanting to our overlords. You know, Listen, I don't know. We don't really have an answer. I mean, why is this done? We don't know. We couldn't really figure it out. OJ thinks this competition doesn't really make sense to me. I think we got to be consistent with it.
I'm grasping at straws here, okay?
I think we got to be consistent, as a nation, together, united, the United States. So let's play it all the time before work, before we go see it, or whatever romantic
You're really
movie.
Big on it right now.
Yes, it's topical, John. See, I'm all about bending the knee. I combined it, the two.
If you want something
Very
topical,
relevant.
I got an ointment for you.
Don't change the subject here. But I'm just saying we got to be consistent. So before you do any activity, you get up in the morning, you play it. You go to Arby's, you order like a roast beef, cheddar melt.
Dude, you go to Arby's for the curly fries.
They play the national anthem before. It's a slippery slope, because you're saying you got to stand. You want to make it a rule. If you don't, you get fired. Right? Well, what does that exactly mean, John, to stand during the anthem? It's a slippery slope, right? Then it becomes, where do you put your hands when you're standing? How do you stand?
Well,
where do your toes
it
face?
already is just to put your hand over your heart, right?
Is that what it's supposed to be? Can you scratch yourself during? Is that wrong?
If you're scratching, actually, that'd be weird. Would it be considered rude if you scratched your chest during the anthem? But regardless of regardless of why the anthem is played, I can understand. Man.
So anyway, I have an article here that may explain some things, John. It answers the question.
Were you asking me when you knew the answer?
No, there really is no answer.
You're jumping down my throat when you know why.
How am I jumping down your throat?
I'm sorry.
You were attacking me for mentioning it maybe 2 times, and you're attacking me. My lifestyle. Okay? All
Wait,
right, so
does that mean we're competing?
We could play the national anthem before our competition.
Yeah.
Yes. There we go. All right, so here's an article, John. So it's no coincidence that its first surge of popularity came during wartime. Nationalism stoked by World War I meant that people were more affected by the song, being the national anthem. And the fact that Major League Baseball players were being actively drafted meant that those who weren't drafted benefited from showing their patriotism. Over time, other sports began adopting the practice. So let's break that down a little bit. So during World War I, they're like, we should play the national anthem. We're at war. There's a world war going on. And some of the players were actually being drafted into the war. So
what happened? Yeah.
Imagine that was happening now.
Ooh, there would be...
The people upset. So the people that weren't drafted were like, we're going to show that we're patriots like them by playing the song.
I can understand that.
And maybe they won't ask us to go. See, we're doing our part. We're playing this song for you. It's all good.
Hey, that funky music, drafty?
Historian Mark Ferris wrote a history of the national anthem in which he points out that at first the anthem didn't exactly come for free. The thing is, you had to hire a band, he told NPR in 2016. That was expensive, so it was only for special occasions, like maybe opening day. So you had to hire a whole band. During World War I, how much do you think a band would cost?
Do you mean World War I dollars or in current dollars?
Like World War I dollars, and what do you think the instruments were? A tuba was definitely part of that.
Trumpet.
Do you think you could
Definitely
hear
get some
anything
trumpet
being up in the rafters? Could you hear anything that was going on?
They had a what's the word I'm looking for? Things to make the music play louder.
Yeah.
Either if not speakers, then they had sound tubes, right?
Yeah,
to have speakers back then.
I don't know.
Bullhorn?
You're supposed to be the expert on the World War I here. What do you think the names were of the gentlemen that would play in the band? What do you think the name of the what do you think the name of the band was? During World War I.
The name of the band?
Just a band in World War I that would play the national anthem. What do you think their name would be? Or give them a
Greg G's Play.
I see.
What's the name?
I don't know. I'm just there's no name. I'm asking you to make a name. Create a name for a band. I said
Greg G's Players.
Who's
Greg G's Players? Like, would be a dude's name. He's a swing.
Like Kenny G.
He's a swing
like
musician.
his great grandfather. He played the national
No, there's a
anthem.
dude whose name is like, I think his name is like, George G is the guy I'm thinking of. I'm sorry.
All right. OJ's just mentioned people he knows. Okay. Ferris says
No,
that after
that guy
World War
plays
II, sound
20
systems
style music.
allowed teams and parks to play the anthem sans band. It's not 1920s style music, it's 1920s music. That's because it was the 1920s.
Well,
So the practice became particularly widespread once they invented sound systems. Obviously. So after World War II, the commissioner of the NFL at the time, Elmer Layden, made a specific plea to keep the anthem as a game day tradition. The playing of the national anthem should be as much a part of every game as the kickoff, he said. We must not drop it simply because the war is over. We should never forget what it stands for. It's as important as kicking the ball, which seems kind of demeaning to the anthem in my opinion. While the anthem continued to be a game day fixture, NFL players typically stayed in the locker room for it. There were exceptions, of course. Players observed the anthem after 9/11 and during Super Bowl games. It was not until 2009 that players were mandated to be on the field for the song.
huh.
It's interesting, right? You didn't have to be out there for it. There was no big sweat. You could be in the locker room,
Chilling out.
filming your endorsement commercial. I don't know. What do they do back there? Section 301 of the
What are they
United States.
doing?
In the 1980s, probably a lot of steroids. I don't know. Section 301 of the United States Code. Did you know about this? The United States Code? Do you have this printed
Nope.
out? It says that during a rendition of the national anthem, people should face the flag and stand at attention with their right hand over their hearts. That's what you were talking about. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Except for uniformed military personnel who should stand and salute for the length of the song. The military got a whole different set of rules. Here we go. If you're wearing a hat, you're supposed to take it off, which is insulting to hatted Americans like myself. And why do you think that's part of it?
It's a sign of respect.
So if you're wearing a hat, it's disrespectful.
Kind of. It's
Where are you
considered
allowed to wear a hat?
like more polite to take your hat off for something.
Under what
It's a sign of
Under what circumstances?
like when you go into a house or a church or
A house?
you're supposed to take off a hat when you go into somebody's
Someone
house.
comes into your home, do you say take your hat off?
No, I don't
Are you
care.
insulted that I wear a hat in your home at times?
No, that's fine. I
Well,
like
usually it
hats.
goes
They're
against what
cool.
you just told me.
I'm saying that it's one of the things people would do. It's not. I'm not saying I agree with it.
What is the
I'm just
logic
saying
behind
that's-
John?
I'm not saying
What is
there
the
is logic.
You're defending it. Explain it.
I'm not defending it. I'm just answering a question.
What is the question?
I don't remember.
You're not answering anything. Before I go see it at the movies, can I wear a hat?
You should take it off before the movie starts.
When the national anthem plays, you take it off. Then you can put it back on. When the clown starts chasing the children. It's fine. Is that right? There's so many rules, John. Now there's a United States Code. I don't even know if this existed before. It's 301.
I didn't know that existed either.
We should end this show right now. This is if no flag is on display, people are supposed to face towards the source of the music and behave in the same manner. Did you know that?
No, I had no idea. I've never really thought about times when you play the Star Spangled Banner and there's no actual flag.
I've been in places where they pathetically played the national anthem.
Oh.
Because we were talking about this last week. We were like these bad wrestling events, like these really like cheap indie shows, and they'll just have like a weird recording of it. It's like a instrumental, but it's like coming out badly. And I've also been places where you don't like no one knows where the flag is, and everyone's confused in the audience.
Yeah, I've been in that
around.
situation.
Yeah, it's wacky stuff. See, this is
Weird,
what happens
wild
when you
stuff.
have these unwritten laws or whatever, and you try to follow them. It's weird. It leads to awkwardness. There's a separate U.S. Code section for how to respect the flag, implying that the anthem and the flag, while often presented together, are different patriotic entities. There's a separate code for the flag. It's a different entity than the anthem. Two different things.
I mean, that makes sense. One's a song and one's a physical object, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Oddly enough, the U.S. flag code doesn't mention the anthem at all. It does mention the Pledge of Allegiance, which should be rendered by standing at attention facing the flag with the right hand over the heart. You knew that.
Yes.
Do you know the pledge? Well, hold on. When was the last time you said the Pledge of Allegiance?
Oh, gosh.
I don't even know if I know it anymore. When was the last time you even heard it?
I honestly don't know.
And when was this taught to you? Well, like first grade, maybe?
Yeah. No, kindergarten.
And why does it become so irrelevant after that? It's like you pledge it enough times during school, and they're like, all right, now you're in. You know it now. It's ingrained in. Do you know it now? Do you think you can do it?
Yeah, I remember it.
Okay, don't do it. Don't do it now, but I'm just wondering.
Okay, you just want to... well, good.
What,
okay.
You want to do it?
No, it's fine. Then I don't have to actually prove anything.
Were you looking it up as I was saying this, in case I made you do it?
No, I'm not
looking
it
seemed like
up.
You were quiet for a couple minutes.
I was not looking it up, honest to goodness.
I wasn't going to make you do it. It's over the top.
It's an arm wrestling movie?
In the 2017 official playing rules of the National Football League. Do you have that book?
No, I do not, actually.
There are no specific directives for what players should do during the national anthem. In fact, neither the anthem nor the flag are ever mentioned. In fact, in 2016, the NFL made clear that players were not required to stand for the anthem. Players are encouraged, but not required to stand during the playing of the national anthem, in quotes. In fact, who wrote this article? This is terrible. In fact, again, Pentagon spokesman Army Major Dave Eastburn recently clarified the Defense Department's current relationship with professional sports. The Defense Department does not require or request that athletes be on the field during playing of the national anthem when military members are part of the patriotic opener, he said in a statement to CNN.
So,
CNN, maybe, is it fake or real news? I'm confused at this point. So maybe this never happened. I don't know. And that's the end of the article. Did we learn anything from this? Basically, your great-grandparents, someone's great-grandparent decided during World War I they should play this anthem. And then it just kept going on. That was it.
Okay.
And here we are in 2017, and this is a big thing. And we find out America's real anthem. Wait for it, John. This is the punchline to the whole bit. Retard on this. America's real anthem, complaining about stuff.
Aww.
Ta-da. Bow.
It's all I ever do.
So there you go, Yeah.
Also, that's kind of interesting about the whole people getting drafted thing, because for World War II, Ted Williams got drafted.
Yeah, Elvis was drafted to Vietnam or Korea, I think. Yeah, Korea.
Yeah, well, they drafted Ted Williams, right? For, he was a baseball player. He went to World War II, survived, and came back and continued playing baseball.
Did he see combat?
Yeah, he saw combat. I think was he in the Air Force? I don't remember. I don't remember what he did, but he was supposed to be pretty awesome of a person.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, I feel like the national anthem is kind of exploited in a lot of ways, because I think it's become like this used to kind of prop up the event. Like, this is a huge event. Playing the national anthem at it. You should maybe buy a ticket to it. And the t-shirt
so instead of,
as well. And oh, look, a celebrity singer is going to be singing it. You should definitely tune in and watch this. Yeah.
Oh, so you're thinking like instead of... So they're kind of appropriating something
yeah, I think so.
Like about national pride and using it for profit instead of...
Yeah,
which is
I think,
a dishonor to it.
Everything kind of breaks down to retail at some point. So...
I mean, you're not...
So that's that.
All right.
How about some health care for the people instead of this stuff?
Oh, gosh.
How about everyone get some health care? Okay.
I'd like to not die.
Anyway, so I put out a video a couple weeks ago. It's entitled Memoirs of a Gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I'd like to talk about that.
That was pretty fun.
The show's mostly a vanity project, so, I mean, I want to talk at great lengths about this. Or a little while. I want to thank everyone that checked it out, man. I really appreciate it. It's really a lot of nice comments, a lot of positive comments. People really encouraging me to continue this. It's your fault that it continues. You know, it's your own fault. You encourage this. I got to thank Mr. Musaeus. He's the gentleman that did the music for the piece. That was him actually playing the piano. He is a PhD of music. He actually teaches music at a college.
Oh, wow.
The gentleman started as a viewer many years ago. We began the show back in World War I. We played the national anthem in our first show. No, but he's done so many songs for us, like, of course, Sean's been Hole Punch, all the Epic Mill, all the electronic sounding music. When we did the diner thing last year, he did the kind of the dark, creepy sounds that played over OJ as he thought about doing terrible things to his friend Shap there.
Yeah, so you could finally hear what I actually have in my head.
Well, the guy's so good, man. Like, I call him, and I'm like, we did this piece here, I need, like, some music. I kind of described it to him. And when I did the editing on the thing, I was using Memories from Cats. You know that song? That's like what was in my head, but you obviously can't just, like, rip that song and use it.
No, for what's his name? Not Frank Lloyd Wright. What's that guy's name? Andrew Lloyd Webber will come to your house and kill you.
Yeah. I think it was a Streisand song, or she did a version of it or something. I don't know. But it's a good song. So I thought that would work really well, because it's like memories and you guys thinking about stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what I originally had in it, but you obviously can't put that out. So I call him, and I'm like, what's going on, man? And he's like, I'm teaching like 4 classes. This was like early September, like the first day's tomorrow, and I'm working at this other place, and I'm doing composing, and I'm doing this and that. I'm like, do you want to make a song for me? And he's just like, okay, yeah. And like, I sent him the Cats music, and kind of did like the next day. I think he sent it to me. Did something that's kind of similar, but also unique. And he's actually playing the whole piano on it and just going crazy. It was awesome. The guy's a genius. I tell him all the time. You know, seriously, that's genius to like just have just such little information about something and then just to do it like perfectly.
And to bring out exactly what you'd be looking for.
Yeah, man. So we gotta thank him so much. And of course we gotta thank Mr. Ed Schroeder, who put a lot of. We talked about this last week on the show. Like, you put something online, it kind of lives forever, right? And you can't really escape.
It never goes away.
So, to have me come out
Speaking
there,
of Barbra Streisand.
yes. So you really got to be kind of careful about what you put out and who you put your trust into. And Ed gave me a lot of trust on this thing. He didn't really know what the script was. I didn't really tell him, because I didn't really understand it myself, and I couldn't really explain it in a way that would make sense to anyone. So I was just kind of like, Ed, do this. How about trying this? And he was game for it, man, and he allowed me the honor of pointing my very cheap camera lens at him. A man that is Malfurion Stormrage, who spent his entire life studying and performing as an actor. I mean, what more could you ask for, you know? Wonderful.
Not much.
OJ's computer's going crazy. I can tell here.
Sorry.
Am I breaking up on you, or you're right?
We're okay now.
Okay. Yeah, you went through
every now and then
a rough period. I could hear it. So
we can explain.
So I'm going to keep talking about this. Like I said, this is a vanity project, this whole thing. So I go to LA, and I got to try to throw something together, because I talked about in the past, like, I didn't really have anything set, and I would have felt really horrible if I didn't get something done with it after all these years, you know? So I'm kind of piecing this thing together, and I look at what I have. I have one actor. I have a few locations that I can go to, but not really supposed to be using them all, as we'll get to, and have no time to really be there, and you have no money to use to buy anything for this thing. And it also has to be creative and original in some capacity and make sense That was the challenge of making something when I was there. But all in all, I was pretty happy with it, man. What I would have loved to have happened is like all the events, like like he's in the movie theater, and then he's with the puppet on the sidewalk, and then he's looking at the balcony. I really wanted it all to kind of connect better, like events take place. Like he went and did this, that led to him doing this. You know what I'm saying? Because it all kind of came off as just kind of like random things.
Yeah.
But the things that I had to work with, like those weren't going to connect in a logical way.
Oh,
You kind of could have done it, but it would have been just kind of forcing it to be that way. Well, maybe it's better that it's random. I don't know. It makes me kind of laugh. Like
it still works out.
To me, it was like that was the guy's morning doing all this stuff. Like that was his day.
Yeah, well, and it's just begun.
It's only just begun. Who knows where he's going next?
Mm-hmm.
I wish that we had a little more time to kind of and do some like mostly it was like one takes and lines that I was kind of making up we were there or stuff that Ed came up with and but yeah, it could have been a lot worse, I think. So we originally filmed it in Ed's apartment, in Ed's actual apartment. Like there's a whole other like I could make a whole other version of the thing if I wanted to, right? So we had him do a lot of this.
Like double.
Yeah, we had him do a lot of basically the same things. Like, had the object, the car, and he was like in his bedroom, and then he would like lay on his bed and like find the car and look at it, and filmed the whole thing. But then we had to kind of stop because I couldn't figure out like how did he actually break into the apartment, And I couldn't like. It wasn't making. I don't know. It was like a lot of it was there, but it wasn't like totally making sense. And the only part from that day that's in there is like the bathroom part. That's actually Ed's bathroom, so that survived.
So you reshot everything.
Yeah, so
except the bathroom.
Except for the bathroom, exactly. This is why OJ's here. He kind of cuts through my gobbledygook here. But so later that night, I'm like watching the footage back. I'm like, all right, it's okay. It looks okay. And I just started like walking around Ed's building,
Yeah.
And he had shown me a few days before when I got there, there's like this penthouse, and we kind of like walked by it. It's like this penthouse in the building where, people that live in the building could go, and there's like a TV in there, there's like a pool table and some other stuff, like a table, and, you go hang out in there, I guess, if you live in the building. So
yeah,
I go up there and I'm like, oh my God, this looks freaking awesome in here. And there's like a balcony. So I'm like, okay, yeah. Maybe that's how he got in here. Like, went up the fire escape or something, right? And there's like a glass door, so we came up with the idea of like he's got a hammer and just kind of bashing in the handle of the door, which I don't think you could actually break into a place like that, but whatever.
That's
it's a stretch.
For all you know, he had a key in there, like a lockpick, one of those things that when you vibrate it enough, and then it moves the pins into the right position somehow.
Yeah,
let's roll with that.
Well, actually, the balcony, there's a scene where he like lays down on the couch. There's like a couch out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how do you get to this balcony? So there's a sign to the left that says fire escape, which I actually put in there. I don't know if you could climb a fire escape like that high either, but it is what it is.
It seems dangerous.
But this penthouse is like wonderful. I mean, there's barbecue grills out there, a wonderful view of LA, nice couches. It's basically better than any place I'll ever live in my life. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh.
And so the next morning, I'm like, Ed, could we go shoot something up in that penthouse thing? And he's like, I guess so. I'm like, what do you think would be all right? And we like brought equipment up there and did that. He's like, I guess so. So we go up there and we just start doing it. And I got like an extension cord going across the floor. I got a light system that I order off Amazon. Tripod and the camera. I got like a box full of props and stuff. And we're up there and we're filming some of it. And Ed's like, didn't we film this part?
He caught on.
He like caught. I didn't want to just tell him because I was like, I don't know, he might be upset and I want to do it. And he's like, didn't we already do this? I'm like, yeah, it's let's get another version of it. And he was a good sport about it. And then we're up there and we're filming something, and I hear a voice coming down the hallway, and it's a guy going, "Oh, this is my favorite part of the building."
Oh no!
This is my favorite part of the building. I can't wait to show you. And this guy comes in. It's like a real estate agent with a family, and they just come in to walk in on this, and we're just silent. We just stand there, and the guy just like ignores us completely. And he's like walking through. He's like, "All right, there's a wire here. Just please step over it. Careful." And like doesn't even make eye contact. You can tell he was like pissed off. But he doesn't make like any kind of eye contact at all.
Well, you're allowed to be up there.
I don't know if you're supposed to be filming things. Yeah.
Well.
So then we're up there and we do our thing then, and we finish. And as soon as, I swear to God, like as soon as we were done, like 15 people came in the room.
Just
like,
out of nowhere?
Yeah, like a party of people just like opened the door and just came in. They stopped and saw us and they were like, huh? But then they just like went about their business, started setting up for something. But it was literally like as soon as we were done. So it was, yeah, right on time there.
Wow. Yeah, it's nice when you finish something and it's clearly, if anything had gone any differently, you were out of luck. So the world just perfectly arranged itself so you could get it done.
That was exactly what happened, man. But again, I would love to actually like be allowed to be in the place for like a certain amount of time and then be able to do things more than one time and maybe get some different shots and get a little more interesting with it, you know? It just takes more time.
Could be fun. Yeah.
But everything's just got to be everything's just got to be like, get this done. You're not supposed to be here. And, you know, I don't know. It's just weird, man.
It's my day off.
Exactly. So some of the lines were good. Like, you know, I came up with a bunch of them, like when he's in the theater and he's like, I paid with a gift card. What do you mean I can't film the film?
Yeah, that was good.
I had a couple of good ones, but there's one where he's got the puppet. And obviously, when Ed's got the puppet, like, that's just all Ed, you know? So, again, I bought that
elephant.
I bought that puppet in Chinatown. And then Ed plays guitar outside of his building once in a while. So he was doing that. And I'm like, Ed, just do something with this elephant puppet. I just like sprung it on him. And he just goes into his routine, you know. What's your name? Elephant the puppet? I'm not a puppet. What do you mean? And it was like the one he originally did was like really long, but I cut it down. He had this whole bit about like Elle Macpherson in there, the model.
Yeah,
like, it was like, my name's Elle. He's like, Elle, like Elle Macpherson, you know. So it went on and on. So yeah, I cut it down. And so when he goes when he shows like his evil side, right? He says he has a line that he's talking derogatorily towards some woman, you know, or man. I don't know. We don't know. Maybe it's a man. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I don't mean to blow up Ed's spot here, so I'll ask him before I put this out. But you know, Ed goes out and he plays guitar. He's been doing this for like a long time. So one day he told me that this woman walked by him, and he blurted this out like just involuntarily. He was so impressed with this lady.
It just happened.
He said the line I thought was so funny. If I were those jeans, I definitely would not be relaxed.
He actually said that to somebody?
He actually said it like, well, he didn't, I don't know if he was like looking at her or like, but he just blurted it out like he was so impressed with this lady. It happens to, you know, it happens to many of it, not me, because I'm a perfect gentleman all the time. But yeah, this is something he actually said. So I was like, I'd say the line. And he was like shocked that I even remembered this. It was like, he told me this like months and months before this. So I had him say that line again, which I thought was pretty funny. You know. And then, of course, the movie theater scene.
Art imitates life.
Exactly. So the movie theater scene.
Life imitates art.
In the YouTube space in Los Angeles, there is several sets, and we're allowed to go into certain ones because we have a certain amount of subscribers. But then there's what is called the platinum level, OJ. You have to have 100,000.
Oh, the cool kids.
You have to have 100,000 subscribers to be able to go into the platinum area. So one of the things they have is like a full working movie theater.
Tell your friends.
Yes, exactly. So obviously we weren't allowed to go into that specific place because we don't have enough subscribers. So I'll talk about this in a minute, but we filmed a whole nother sketch or short film with Ed called The Weatherman in one of the other studios. And before we left, I knew about this movie theater because I looked it up online, and I started talking to the girl at the reception, And I'm like, hey, you guys have this movie theater thing? She's like, yeah, it's over there. She's like, it's right over there. I'm like, oh, really? Yeah. I'm like, do you mind if, I'm from New York, do you mind if I just go in there and take a look for maybe a couple minutes? And I'll be right out. And we were there. It was like early in the day, right? We got there like 8:30 in the morning. This was maybe like 2 or something. So it was pretty on like a weekday. It was like a Tuesday or something. So she's like, oh yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So we go in there, bust out the camera and stuff, and just start shooting for maybe 5 minutes worth of footage.
That had to be a little frightening.
Oh, it was crazy. And I just threw at the lines, and that was that. We got out of there, and that was fine. And I thought it looked pretty good. And when I was done with the whole video, I was gonna just put it out, right, without saying anything. But then I kind of felt bad about it. And I was like, I wasn't really supposed to film in there, and man, I don't know what to do. So I sent it to the guy. I sent it to the YouTube space over there. The guy that's my contact. I was like, hey, we filmed in here. It's like maybe, I don't know, was it like 15 seconds worth of footage I've actually used? Is it okay if I put this out? And the guy's like, all right, yeah, just, he's like, I'll kind of keep it on the down low, and it's fine.
Well, it's not on the down low now, dude.
So that's where it kind of came from.
Why would you say that?
Because it's a funny story. I'll sacrifice it for the sake of the story. So, of course, we got to get to what was actually on the movie theater screen, which, of course, was young OJ. I'm calling you young OJ a lot today. Notice that? Is that weird? I don't know why.
Yeah.
So this makes me really laugh a lot. And I was talking to someone else today that said they really liked this part. Because they said, I was talking to somebody today, it was one of the viewers. You know who you are. And he said the whole video seemed like too normal for John Roman Presents until it got to the part with OJ, and he's like, now here we go. So just the idea of this man who's a terrible man, he's like a thief, sitting in a theater by himself watching this, I assume it's like a weird S&M video where popcorn is sexualized and being thrown at a man, a nude man with a collar on.
Dude, it's S&M and P. Wait, there's no H. Dang it! Sorry.
So that's kind of what what did you feel about the character? That's what I kind of thought it was. He was watching a naughty video with popcorn.
Well, yeah, especially considering since the emails I'm getting from Amazon after purchasing that leather collar. Yeah,
a popcorn fetish movie. Yeah, there you go. That's how you say it. Mm-hmm. And I love when you watch it, it's like he's pelted with the cord, like he's hitting the head with it, and then hitting like the hair. It sticks to his hair. And the third one, it looks like he comes short and maybe hits you in the groin, and he makes a face of like pleasure. That's what I got from it. So we did that. OJ came to my parents' house because we could film in the garage. There's a little bit of space in there, so set up the green screen. And you want to tell what happened, OJ, with the popcorn?
This was pretty embarrassing. So I get to John's house, and I'm like, don't worry. I've set popcorn on fire before, but I know how to make popcorn. This is going to be great. So we put it in the microwave. I even questioned it. What?
I even questioned. I was like, how do you do this? Because I never make popcorn in a bag like that.
And I'm like scoffing at him, like, are you kidding?
It's like, well, you don't know how to do this, you idiot.
Yeah, it's like, it's popcorn. You follow the instructions. You put it in the microwave. And then when it stops popping, you turn off the microwave. Dirt, so easy.
Yeah.
Well, for as easy as it's supposed to be, I followed the instructions on the bag to the letter. And it says after 3 minutes or after 4 minutes, once it stops popping once every 10 seconds, stop it and take the bag out of the microwave. So we hit exactly 3 or 4 minutes, whatever the timer, the instruction said. And we look at it, and the microwave is full of smoke.
It was like a lot of smoke.
Billowing smoke coming out. It smells awful. I don't know if there's actual flames in the bag, but we take the bag and put it right under the sink, trying not to burn ourselves taking out of the microwave.
My father's there. He's like in the other room with headphones on, and just notices smoke comes in.
Yeah, he's like, what is that smell?
And he's like, all right, I'm going to make the popcorn. Just go away. And he did it.
Yeah.
So OJ comes over, nearly burns down the house.
I
Within
didn't
5
burn
minutes.
down the house.
Nearly burned down the house.
Okay.
Well, we
It's
thank you
still
for doing
standing.
it. Did anyone see the? Well, what did you feel about seeing yourself? I tried to blur it a lot. I didn't want to make it too perverse or blatant, ruin your good image or your good name. You know.
Oh yes, my good image
How did you
that
feel?
I have.
How did you feel about seeing yourself doing such a thing?
It was pretty funny. A little weird that I was kind of shirtless on camera, but you don't see anything below my neck. For all you know, I'm wearing like a scoop neck tank top.
I tried to
top or
take care of
something.
you. I tried to take care of you on it. You know.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know if I
it
would
was
have done
pretty
that.
darn
I mean,
funny.
I give you a lot of credit. I really appreciate it. If
Look,
you
man,
asked
you
me to
did-
do that, I don't know if I would do that. You probably know that, though.
Yeah, I know that though.
You know, but I really appreciate it. Did anyone say anything? Did you show your family or?
I showed my friends, and no one said anything about the weird scene with the popcorn.
I mean, it just goes so quick. That's kind of what I wanted. You know,
You
initially
didn't
I
want
had
it to overpower the thing.
Well, I had it for like 10 seconds, like the first cut, and it became about that in a way. You know, it kind of became like you can't get it out of your head after you seeing it, and then the rest of it just kind of you're numb to because you're like thinking about what was that. So I had to kind of cut it down. But all right, well we'll do it. We'll have to make something else with OJ. We'll release like the extended cut of that, just that maybe,
Oh no,
or not. You know. Well, thanks for doing it, John. Appreciate it.
You are quite welcome. It was fun.
And we got another short film coming. It's called The Weatherman. This is the one that Ed wrote and I filmed, and we did it at the YouTube space in LA. It's
Nice.
It's a beast. It's taking a long time. I haven't done as much as I probably should have at this point on it, but this coming. It's going to be better than the other one because Ed wrote this one, so I think it'll be really good. I think everyone will enjoy it. And I also hope to get maybe one more.
I hope so.
I hope to get one other. Hope to get Weatherman out and one other thing before the end of the year is my goal. So we'll see if we can pull it off. You know. Well, that's that.
This will be a noble quest.
Thanks for everyone that checked it out. So for our next segment here, we're supposed to have a special guest. Let's see if we can get this together. I don't want to go off air. I just want to bring him right in, unedited. Let's see if this works. Weird.
Oh man, it popped up for a second.
And watch it not work.
Hello.
Oh
Hello.
my god. Is it really him?
What's up?
Is it really
Can
you?
it be?
Holy shit. Alright, hold on. Do we sound okay to you?
Yeah, you guys sound good.
Alright.
Do I sound all right?
Yeah, we're fine. We're recording. Stop talking. Alright.
All right.
So, we did a show 3 years ago. It was show number 128 to be exact. It was the Toys R Us Chronicles. It featured John here and me and our friend Kevin. Okay, we know you're here, John. But we were missing a piece of the puzzle, a large piece of the puzzle at the time. A gentleman that we spoke about many times on that episode. He was referred to as the crazy guy that slept on boxes and stole many sodas. Right? And we got him now, 3 years later. Mr. Dan Leapins, oh my God, is on the program.
What's up? What's up?
And I kid you not, friends, I have not spoken to Dan here over 10 years. When do you think it was?
Yeah, I think it's probably 05.
2005, we've not spoken. This is the first time we've spoken. We just called him. He was asking me earlier, like, hey, do you want to talk beforehand? I'm like, no, we're doing this on the air.
It's more organic that way.
Oh, this is crazy, man. It's just so good to hear you, sir. Are you doing well?
I like when I listen to the TRU episode, you're like, a man that needs no introduction, Kevin. And for me, it's the opposite. It's like, we need a lengthy introduction to explain who this guy is, what he's doing here.
Well, to be honest, I thought you were dead.
It could be. Could have
But
been.
I'm delighted that you're still with us, sir. It's awesome, man.
Yeah, definitely.
So
The
the
internet, man, it's an amazing place. It's like you can find people. Sometimes, people can find you that you don't want to find you, but,
right. Oh, it's a cesspool, and we're a big part of that. So yeah,
We're a big part of it.
Some big. Can I continue with this? So some big news dropped this week, and I received several messages from viewers, and it was kind of weird. I got messages from viewers and from former employees of Toys R Us at like the same time. I was like, "What the hell could possibly be going on?" You know, it's like a weird mixture, and everyone kind of linked to a specific article.
We all sent the same one?
Yeah, John said, everyone sent basically the same article. So I want to read it, and we could kind of chime in on our thoughts on some stuff, all right? So it starts off, Toys R Us, one of the world's largest toy store chains. I think it's the only toy store chain, really, right?
They bought up the other ones.
That's right. They have filed for bankruptcy protection, becoming the latest casualty of the pressures facing brick-and-mortar retailers. The company made the Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing late Monday night in federal court in Richmond, Virginia, acknowledging it needed to revamp its long-term debt totaling more than $5 billion. Dan, how much were you paid by Toys R Us?
Did you say billion?
Yes, billion.
I was trying to remember because I think it was minimum wage, and at the time it was like $7 or $7.25. I think
that's pretty good. It's more than I make now, actually. So these guys are $5 billion in debt, and they're paying people $7, like you said.
I remember it because when you would like take a break, we'd go over to that pizza place and get like a couple slices of pizza for like dinner or whatever, and that would cost like basically what you would make in an hour while you were taking a half-hour break.
If you had 2 slices, that's your entire day pay right there.
Yeah, a couple garlic nuts.
Oh yeah.
Bob, help me if you got a black and white cookie with it.
Remember that old man that used to work at that place?
Oh yeah, a dirty white T-shirt.
Oh yeah. Wonder what he's
Very
up to.
Italian.
That's right.
I remember drinking Pepsi Blue there.
That's a
at
real
that
drink.
pizza place.
That's a special drink they made for John in the
it was
back.
like blue raspberry. It's like Windex.
Oh God, it's that kid again from Toys R Us. Here, we got a special drink for you. It's Pepsi Blue. Why don't you drink this down? All right, so the retailer, which also owns Babies R Us, has struggled to compete with Amazon and stores like Walmart. But the financial plight of Toys R Us was exacerbated by heavy debt load that has weighed on the company for years. This is interesting to me at this part. The private equity firms Kohlberg, Kravis, Roberts, and Bain Capital, as well as the real estate firm Vornado Realty Trust, purchased the company in a leveraged buyout for $6 billion in 2005, which is very interesting because if you remember, we worked there before that, and 2004 is when all the crazy stuff went down. They were firing people and kicking people out and everything. And then in 2005 is when the company was actually sold. What do you think about that, Dan?
I don't think it's connected at all.
Well, I remember when we worked there, they were really struggling because of Walmart was kicking their ass, and Walmart actually sold more toys than Toys R Us in like one of the years I was there. Remember that was like a big deal.
Oh yeah, I remember that too.
And they were just savagely killing them, and now it's got to be like with Amazon too.
Well, every morning we would have those like meetings. Like everyone would congregate at the front desk, and they would be like, they'd usually make some announcements or whatever. But I remember that time when we got beat by Walmart, and they were like, "Listen, guys, like we're in trouble." They didn't say it like that, but it was like they kind of tried to give us like a pep talk, like go out there and sell today.
Yeah,
and we're all like, all right.
We're just dead inside, looking behind the eyes. See, I feel like I feel like there's something to that though. In like 2004, maybe they're like dumping some people, that long-term employees, getting ready to sell the company. Maybe, and a year later, you don't agree. It's fine. I can just hang up on you now. It's all right.
I thought the firings would happened after.
That's true.
Usually they buy you, and then they're like, "Oh, you don't need these people. They make way too much."
Dan Leapins, who's this guy? Get rid of him. The company faced $400 million in debt, payment coming due 2018. It was burning through its cash. It hired advisors, including the law firm Kirkland & Ellis, to help come up with a plan. The company said it's roughly 1,600 Toys R Us and Babies R Us stores around the world, including Australia, Asia, and North America, will continue to operate as usual. Do you remember Kids R Us?
Yeah. Before it was Babies R Us, right? Or next door to our place.
Didn't they go out of business while we were there?
Yeah, I think so.
You remember when I stole the shopping cart and everything, right?
I did. I do remember that. Yeah, finally.
Got it. JP Morgan Chase and a group of other lenders have agreed to provide the company $3 billion and help Toys R Us to continue paying its suppliers and employees. They're taking out more loans now. And this is the quote from the guy in charge. Today marks the dawn of a new era at Toys R Us, where we expect that financial constraints that have held us back will be addressed in a lasting and effective way. Dave Brandon, company's chairman and chief executive. Yeah. Let's continue to just blow money.
You.
That's like, how are we going to get out of this hole? We'll dig our way out.
Spend more money. Toys R Us said the filing would help the company invest in long-term growth and fuel its aspirations to bring play to kids everywhere and be a best friend to parents. End of article. Toys R Us is the best friend to parents. Sure.
Cool.
So
I
Dan,
don't believe that.
Dan, you read this? Where did you find out about this article?
It's kind of ironic, actually. I saw it on a website called somethingawful.com.
Sure.
Dude.
You know the forums? Yeah. So
I paid for my membership like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I joined that website because Kevin told me about it when I was working there. And he's like, you got to go on the forums. And I was like, and I still go on sometimes to like kill time. It's kind of like dying too, just sort of a slow death, sort of like Toys R Us is.
They fell for chapter 11.
It's still around, and there was a thread on it, and I went in there and I like posted some stuff, and then no one responded to me. So I was like, oh, I wonder what John's up to.
So maybe it made you think of me, the person that would be happiest by this.
Sorry,
that's right.
At that point, I'd already heard the show, like the 128 episode, like a couple months before.
Yeah. And
so, in honor of that show, I went back and listened to it again. And then that second time, that's when I was like, I got to reach out to these guys.
That's awesome. So Kevin sent you the episode?
Yeah, like randomly on Facebook. I never go on Facebook, but so it sat in my inbox for like a couple months, and then I finally saw it and I listened to it. And I was listening to it at work, and like I was like crying, laughing. It was so funny, and people were like looking at me, and they were like, "What's so funny?" And I was like, you just wouldn't understand.
You weren't there, man.
I couldn't. How do you explain it to people? I don't know.
Yeah. Wow. So when you got that like from Kevin, what did you think what it even was like?
I loved it because it was like, at first I was jealous because you guys are all just like reliving the good times. It's like working there, you captured it perfectly. That working there just like was not very fun, but the people there was what made it fun. Like when it was fun. So it was like, it felt like old times. We were just hanging around like on the couch, and like I just couldn't talk because I wasn't in the episode, obviously, but I wanted to be. You guys were talking about stuff, and I was like, oh God, like I want to yell that,
Yeah.
Get on the microphone and yell that.
Well, I'm glad you looked me up, man. We brought you back in. You're back to the family now.
Back to life.
There was a hole in my heart missing all these years.
Well, you guys were always the original group. I was kind of like hanging on for a little bit there.
You were definitely part of it, though, dude. I mean, you added so much to it,
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate that. And it was just like a while. I'm so glad that like that time like means something to you, like even now,
Yeah, well, it was my first like real job. I don't know. I don't know how long you guys were there for, but it was my first like legitimate job, and I was like, where could I work? And I applied to like restaurants. I couldn't get in anywhere, and I was like, I'll go to Toys R Us, and I got in. I was like, yes, this is gonna be great. And then like 2 weeks into it, I was like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
It's so horrible.
Are you like doing well in life now? Like we didn't corrupt your mind and soul from that?
Doing well. I mean, good, I live. I'm married now.
Holy crap!
Like, congratulations!
I couldn't imagine that someone would want to spend their life with me, but here we are.
Damn.
But yeah, I definitely look back and it's like, just good times. It's like part of who I am for sure.
It's like a really special time, like in my life, because Yeah, it was like you have a job, but you could like mess around because it wasn't like if you got fired, it would really change your life. You know what I mean? It wasn't like you were. It wasn't like you were out on the street if you were fired or something. So yeah, you were like working, but you also had like that lack of responsibility, really, and oh yeah, there's so many like wacky characters, you know.
Oh yeah, it was like a cartoon. It was beautiful.
So when did you leave the store? I was trying to remember.
I was trying to remember too. I think.
Did you go to school? You went to college?
I think I went to college, and I was like, oh, you know, I'll work, you know, the season when I come home for Christmas, and then I just never came back.
So did you start school in 2004?
Yeah.
All right, so you must have went to school like in September of 2004, and then all the crazy stuff went down in October.
Yeah, because I definitely escaped that, and I remember you guys telling me like about the drama, and I was like, whoa.
Oh man, I wonder what would happen if you were there for that.
Well, I was there at the beginning. I definitely returned some Xbox games. I remember that, and I actually kept a couple too. But I remember the scheme, and then I left, and you guys must have just taken it to another level after I left. Because when I left, we were just kind of dipping our toe in it, you know, like returning games here or there. Yeah, and then people started to go all out.
So people know what we're talking about. You go back to that show on 28, you hear the whole story. But basically, there was like this training program through Microsoft where you take these stupid quizzes online. You get points, and then you could use these points for like actual games and items. And the game that was the downfall for everyone was Phantasy Star Online for the original Xbox. And it was like very, for whatever reason, the store sold it for $50, and it was like a very small amount of points in order to get it. So we were getting like, you know, 10 copies each, and we were returning them for store credit, and the manager was actually okay with it, you know. Like, we didn't even know this was a problem. And then it became a whole issue, and district manager came in, and it led to a whole blow-up, including actually, and one thing I forgot to mention on that show 3 years ago, like, after that happened, Microsoft completely changed the whole, like, system of how you got the game, how you got the points in the games, and, like, the whole thing. Like, because of us.
Do you think it was really because of you guys, huh?
Yeah, it was, like, right after that. It was, like, it was like, the same week that went down that they, like, completely changed the whole thing around. Like, you could, I think what they did is they made sure you only get one copy of a specific game. You can't get, like, multiples. It might have been something simple like that. But the affected change in the world, you know?
Yeah. Your fingerprint's still on it.
That's right. So anyway, so I got a email here from Dan. It's weird that I'm calling you Dan because I used to call you Leapins all the time now. I just remembered that. I'm like, it doesn't feel right.
Do you remember the part I said about the disease?
Oh, yeah. All right. Explain that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, you hear John calling me by my last name. Everyone in high school and, you know, even college and stuff just started calling me by my last name, just kind of rolls off the tongue or whatever, and instead of a nickname. And John, when I met him, was like, Leapins? What is that? It sounds like some sort of disease. I got a case of the Leapins.
That was my first interaction with you?
Yeah, I mean,
I was a bit of a madman back then.
Back then?
I'm probably the same. I don't know. But
well, can I tell a story about how Absolutely. I got in the R Zone?
Yes, go ahead.
Because you guys mentioned on episode 128, like that there was the B team, and that was me and the other John.
Yeah, John H. Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember that because we only worked on the weekends. But when I first started, I started as a cashier, so I was out in the front, and like, you know, where they have the lineup of registers, and I quickly realized that was not the place where I wanted to be.
Yeah, it's hell.
Yeah, because like the customers, you have to ask them for their phone number. You guys went over that. And you have to like ask them about batteries, and like right away they're like hostile towards you, and you're like, oh, I'm just trying to do what I'm told. You know, it's my first job. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna obey all the rules. I'm gonna do this right, and like quickly find out it's like, no, you get treated like crap if you do that. So I'm like, that sucks. Yeah. But the R Zone was like where all the video games were, and it was in this like walled in area, and there was only one entrance with like extra security, like the extra like buzzers or whatever,
yeah,
to get in and out. But it was walled in, and so I was always like, oh, what's going on in there? And you and Kevin were in there, and you guys would like, you know, just go in there and never see you again for the rest of the day.
What are they doing in there?
I'm out, I'm out here like ringing, and like, you know, people are being hostile towards me. I'm like, all right, this sucks. I gotta get out of here. The other thing was like the managers hung out at the front, like customer service desk, so you were always under their like watchful eye. But you guys in the R zone, like they couldn't see what you were doing in there. So I was like, that's where I gotta be. So I just started going in there and like hanging out. Yeah. And I think eventually I told Mikey, I was like, oh, I could be in here. So Mikey is was our manager at the time. Right. And I was like, oh, I got to get in here. And I was like, I know about the games. I could be in here. And I think I just hung out long enough where they're finally like, you want to be in here? And I was like, yes, I do.
You fit in there. You fit in there like perfectly. It was, it was great. It was just getting better and better. Like I think I started in there without any of you guys. And then like Kevin came in and you came in and just.
But you remember I didn't have like when I first started, they would give you these shirts and they say like Toys R Us and they'd have Jeffrey on them. They didn't give me a shirt for some reason, and I was always just like, "Hey, can I get a shirt?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll get around to it." And like, so I always had to wear like my own red shirt. And then you guys are like, "Oh, B team, you guys don't even have shirts."
I remember being very impressed with you because we were pretty crazy and lackadaisical and not usually doing what we're supposed to be doing. But you were like on another level of not caring about the place. Like you were like a whole nother dimension. And it just like, it was impressive. I was really impressed by that.
You guys are my role models.
I was like, I don't think it could get any worse than me and Kevin here. And then this guy was even worse than us.
I wasn't that bad.
We had a good time. We helped a lot of people out though, I think, in the long term, but.
Oh, you know. Yeah. So that reminds me. So the one thing is like when you're out in the cashier, you're like Kevin told that story where he asked some dude who was buying Play-Doh if he wanted batteries, and the guy's like, you know, I don't need Play-Doh batteries or what, you know, you don't need batteries for Play-Doh, and he's like basically making fun of him. But in the R zone, people like don't know anything and they actually need you, so they like respect you, the customers. So and then if you help them, they actually like appreciate it. Whereas outside of the R zone, it's just like, oh, you know, where's the board games? And you just like, you know, show them, you know. So in R zone, you actually are respected. I really felt that.
You performed a service, like you actually helped.
You can say whatever you want to tell them. I was in there like a couple months ago in the store, and I felt bad because we had that like big cabinet with all the games in it. We actually built that thing. And they got rid of it, and I was like, really? And they like moved stuff around. I was like, man, I have no, because I think it was there for like years and years after we left. So I felt like that's my fingerprint on this building. Like I built that freaking thing, you know. And they took it away
under lock and key. Yeah,
that's right. I'm sure there's some damage maybe to the back room that we caused to the floors or the ceiling that still remains, or something like that. But
we can only hope.
I assume so.
A smell that will never go away.
So what about John here? How did you feel about working with John?
Oh yeah, you're just like, I guess I took it to another level of crazy. John was always trying to go the other way. He was like, "Nah, guys, like don't do that." He was like Mr. You know, he was the safety guy.
But imagine if he wasn't there, how out of control it might have been.
I feel like he was just a witness, right? He was there the day.
Oh, all right, he was there to witness the crimes.
Yeah,
witness me.
I did, John. My one lasting memory of you is like the most like, you know, adventurous thing that you did was you would answer the phone in an English accent.
Wow,
that was so much fun.
What did people say when you did that? Do you remember doing that?
I don't remember any of the actions. It just sounds exactly like something I would do.
Does he remember?
Oh
he probably did this today. So yeah, you guys
in an English accent? No.
You guys together are like really opposite, like total opposites of each other. But you know.
And the sad thing was, I think Mikey liked troublemakers more than like he's like, gosh, I got to work with Harrington.
Yeah, John would get punished for in a way, like he wouldn't get the hours and stuff that everyone else got, and he was like really trying to keep it together.
If they only knew.
Really funny.
No good deed goes unpunished. Do you remember what was because Leapitz here sent me a whole email of stuff we forgot to talk about. So I'm just looking at it now, and you mentioned Jeffrey's birthday club.
Oh yeah,
what was this about?
So obviously, we've talked about all the things that they wanted us to do. This was one more thing. It was like get kids to sign up for Jeffrey's birthday club. So any mom that was like walking around with a kid, we had to go up to them and be like, "You want to join the club or what?"
Was this real? Like, how did they come up with the birthday? Was this some arbitrary day? They just
it's the kid. No, it's the kid's birthday. So it's like you signed them up and they had to give you their birthday, and then
hey, what's your little child's? I'm a 20-year-old man. How? When's your child's birthday? What's their name and address? I'd like to know that. I want to write it down. Yeah,
and they would mail you like a $5. I think it was like $3 gift certificate, basically to just get you in the store to buy something.
Yeah,
that was worth, that they make a profit on. So we were, they gave us like a goal. Oh, we got to get 20 of these a day or 25 or I don't know how they came up with it, but obviously we just started filling them out, making stuff up. Yeah. And I actually got one to my house and my parents were like, "You got something, I think it's addressed to the Master Chief."
Oh, goddamn.
So actually, yeah. So somebody like got that card, typed it up, and I got a gift certificate.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I put my name as Jesus Christ. I'm pretty sure that I got that in the mail. It said Jesus Christ, but that's just how it was,
Hey, we met our goal for that day.
So we were, yeah, there you go. So I remember we told the story about the Ahugar with the Jeffrey.
Yeah.
That you played great into the headsets and everything. Yeah, that was something. But you did something with the Hulk hands, apparently.
Yeah. So you guys mentioned that like when a new toy was coming out or like movie was coming out, being the movie, we would get like promo stuff to use and like put out so kids would see it and buy it. So when the Hulk movie came out, they came out with these Hulk hands. Yeah. They're called Hulk hands and big green hands, and you put them on, and when you hit something with them, they would make a noise, and they would whatever Hulk smash. I remember. So around that time was when I figured out that the phone, if you dialed a certain extension on the phone, you would get on the loudspeaker over the whole store. If you want to be like, I need a manager in the R zone, like right away, whatever professional stuff. But I thought it would be a good idea to play the Hulk hands over the loudspeaker.
Yeah, we got away with like murder in that place, man.
I remember because I had to find a phone that was like in a deserted part of the store so no one would see me. And then I had to hang up the phone and then stash the Hulk hands somewhere so that, hide the evidence. Yeah. And then run back to the R zone so I didn't get caught.
I think they just kind of put up with us, like, because we kept showing up and we didn't like call out or anything. And for the most part, we tried a little bit and we were pretty like friendly with everybody. So, well, yeah,
that was one thing. We never did the no call, no show. That was like the number one sin.
We never like, we always showed up, but we never stole stuff. Well, besides sodas, but for the most part,
Dude, I was thinking about the sodas, and I'm like, I mean, I know I got a rep for that, but
you're like the only
I was just testing them out, Dude, Kevin would buy his, and then he would put his receipt on it, and then like put it up on top of the counter, so he would be like, "Look at me, I'm not taking the sodas." Like, come on, dude, you're one of us. Just get that out of here.
Right.
But I feel like they kind of were like, we didn't steal any systems or games or anything, and it's like we know you're not making any money, so we'll turn our back on like the one water per shift if you want to take it.
I used to drink those freaking Code Reds. Ugh. It's disgusting. Yeah, I would drink like a multiple ones.
Yeah, I would take one sip of that and right in the trash.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember you did that a few times. You would like try sodas. That's why you got that rap, dude. You were like, oh, it's a new soda. You take a sip, throw it out, take another one.
This one's no good.
That's right. So you and Kevin got pulled over?
Yeah.
It sounds familiar. It's it's crazy. Like when like all these things you brought up, I actually totally forgot about. But as soon as you say them, like or you wrote them to me, like it pops into my head. It's kind of a scary thought. Like all this stuff's in your mind. It's like locked up until it's like jostled with in some way, right? But,
Yeah, because dude, I was listening to the original episode or episode 128 or whatever, and you guys were telling your stories about the car and like how you were like driving backwards with that other kid. I forget who.
Matt, yeah.
Yeah, Matt. And it was just like we did a bunch of stuff messing around with the cars, and that's what made me think of it. So, and I wanted to jump in and be like, "Oh, what about the time we got pulled over?" So, yeah, I mean, you want me to tell it?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, man.
Got to do it now.
We're trying to make up for not having you on last time, you know.
Yeah.
So we always used to go to the movies, and like to get to the movie theater after the store closed, you had to like jump on the highway and be on the highway for like 10 minutes, and then you get to the movie theater. So one time Kevin and I were closing, and we were meeting. I think we were meeting you guys there. I don't remember what movie we were seeing, but
who knows? Probably Charlie's Angels or something. Great.
Yeah. So I had some crappy Acura, and I remember Kevin had like a Dodge Stealth or something.
Oh yeah.
Like,
he had like multiple accidents with it. It was like completely beat up.
Yeah, it like looked fast, but it was actually really slow.
Whoa! All right, I was dropping bombs on Kevin. Right? This is why we didn't have you on with him. You know.
Well, yeah, dude. He's like. I told him, I'm like, let me know if you guys are ever talking about Toys R Us again. He's like, we'll do, and then never heard from him again. So I was like, I gotta cut right to the chase. So anyway, we're driving. We get on the highway, and we're like, as soon as we get on, we're speeding, and we're like changing lanes and like basically driving like idiots and like doing dumb stuff that kids used to do.
Fast and the Furious just came out.
What's that?
Yeah,
that was like it was like that whole time period. Like Fast and the Furious came out. Like it was all the games were like based on that. Right?
Everyone was putting like lights on their cars.
Need
and,
for Speed and all that stuff.
And the exhausts make them sound real loud.
Yeah, it was just the time period.
Derp.
So we're driving. We're driving like idiots, and there must have been a cop like already on the highway just driving, and he saw us. So I'm driving, and all of a sudden the lights come on, and this cop goes flying past me and gets behind Kevin, and Kevin's like, all right. So he starts pulling over, and then I'm like behind, so I'm like, all right, great, I'm free. So I start to like go to the left to try to go around and escape or whatever, and the cop like swerves back out into traffic and puts his hand out the window over the roof of the car and is like pointing towards the side of the road, obviously at me. So I'm like, oh man, all right. So he gets us over. The cop gets out of the car, goes to Kevin first, up front. I'm just sitting there waiting, like, kind of nervous, like, crap, I'm gonna get a ticket. He comes to me, he goes, you know that guy? And I was like, yeah. he's my friend. We just got off work. We're going to the movies. He's like, oh, that's funny. He says he has no idea who you are.
Why did you do this?
I was like, oh, well, no, I know him. He goes, all right, I'll be right back. So he goes back. He goes back to Kevin's car, and I see him like talking and like making gestures or whatever. Comes back to me, and he goes, since you were honest, you get a warning. Your friend wasn't so lucky. He's like, stop being idiots and like get out of here. Yeah. So I got a warning for like unsafe lane change. Sure, I remember that.
Right.
And like I think Kevin got like speeding, unsafe lane change, like tailgating, like, and his ticket was like $500 or something.
Oh my god. A month of pay.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I remember being like, if you're gonna lie, I need to be in on the lie.
Yeah, there's no way. Was he mad at you at all, or just like?
I don't think so.
There's no way he gambled that you were going to lie too. And like what
prisoner's dilemma you.
But why would that be better if you don't know each other than you do, right?
I know, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I'm just going to tell the truth, so whatever.
I don't know.
Sorry, Kev.
Yeah, man, it was like that whole time period that Need for Speed game had that freaking was it T.I., the song?
Oh, that was something else. You loved that.
that was your thing, man. I was like, put that on again. Money rolls. Put that shit up. Play it again. Money rolls.
If you pick, it was like on the Xbox machine. It had like a demo disc, and I think it had a bunch of different games. But if you picked Need for Speed Underground, and if you picked that, it would just sit at the start menu and just play the intro song over and over again. And it was the chorus, and it was money rolls. Money rolls.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Then we had like a little like it was like a whole routine, man. Like a little dance going. Remember?
I was going to go nuts.
Yeah, we were basically we usually had like our own. Yeah, John didn't like it.
No,
That's probably why I
Any
liked it. I'll
repetitive
play that
song.
again.
That's some 41 song they played all the time from the hockey. Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
We basically had like memes going before we knew what that even meant, right? It was like our own little bubble, you know. We just walk by and money rolls. Be like, I know what you're talking about. Nod, you know, right?
I still listen to that song. It's still like in my, in my music library, and it comes up.
I got to put that on later.
It's funny, like the unedited version. There's a lot more N bombs.
Oh, all right. I gotta check that out. I'm gonna check that out later today.
Yeah.
Yeah, this story, man. I forgot about this. You hit one of the managers. I'll let you tell the story, but
yeah, he wasn't. I don't think he was a manager at the time. This is like my finest moment.
Yeah.
Just to encompass like exactly what we were thinking and what we were doing at the time. So like the R zone was in like the walled in area, and there was only one entrance, and when no one was in there, like you couldn't leave because all the valuable stuff was there. So you're kind of like, you know, it was good to be inside the walls, but you're almost like a prisoner at the same time. But if there's no one in there, you could kind of hang out by the entrance. So one day it was like late, and I was hanging out by the entrance, just like dribbling a basketball, waiting for someone to come in. Dude, there's just like toys around, so you just find something to like occupy yourself with.
Yeah.
So walking up like from the back of the store is this guy. Should I say his name? Kurt? Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
okay.
So Kurt's coming up, and he's like with a customer, and the customer must have just bought like a bike or something like something big, and he had a big box like on his shoulder. And he had one arm, and he's like walking, and it's obviously like pretty heavy. So I'm dribbling the basketball, and Kurt comes near me, and for some reason I just go, pass to Kurt, and I threw the ball at him. And it hit him in the stomach, because he had the box, so obviously he couldn't catch it. And it hit him in the stomach, and he dropped the box right in front of the customer. So the guy is like, "What the hell?" And Kurt's like, "Oh," he's like, "Oh, I'll get you another one." And he had to like go back and get the guy a different box.
Did you say anything to him about it, or that was it?
I probably
just to be expected. He'd be more shocked if you didn't do that to him. You know, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you come near the R zone, stuff just comes flying out.
You got to expect something's going to happen. You know, nothing happens, you worry then. It's coming later, twice as bad. You know.
Dude, I don't know, like what popped into my head, like why to do that, but it felt right.
So yeah, we told the story about we were sleeping on the boxes, and you kind of like in this email, you kind of elaborated on it, like. I guess it was a day you were trying to. Yeah, I remember this now. You were trying to stay in the back the entire day. It was like a challenge. What happened? Were you able to do it or no?
Yeah, I think so. I think I took obviously took a break, but so in the R zone there was like the lockup, and that's where like all the excess expensive stuff was, and you had to need a key to get in there, and you'd have to go back there sometimes to just like refill the shelves or whatever. So it was like one day during the busy season, I was like, I'm going to stay back here the whole time and see if anyone notices. And it's like an 8-hour shift.
I remember you, like, I was working with you and you told me what you were doing, and I was like encouraging. I was like, all right, yeah, we're going to try to, this
is a great plan.
Let's do this.
Well, I thought you guys were going to be mad because it's like you have to do more work because I wasn't there, but you're like, no, we support this. Like, get in the back.
We're going to try to get this record for you in the store and all of us. This is an accomplishment not just for you, for the team.
So I think that was the sleeping on boxes. But if you guys were like, oh, we need more Maddens or whatever, I was like right out the door with them, you know.
Yeah, you were a savage in your day, to tell you, man.
Dude, I mean, that's like what you said. We all knew stuff. Yeah. And I remember there was like this one Batman game. I think it was Batman, but it was like horrible. And I remember the reviews for it were just like
the GameCube one. Was it Dark something or Dark Tomorrow?
I think it was for all the systems, but it was like borderline unplayable. And people would come up like trying to buy it, and I'd be like, "You don't want to buy this." Like,
hey, we tried to do the right thing. I remember we used to send people to Funko Land all the time. Don't buy this here. They got it over there. It's cheaper or something. You know, like. Oh yeah, we were just like, oh, don't get this here. It's like a lot cheaper at this other store. The people were like happy. Oh, thank you so much. You know, they appreciated it.
I'm sure they were like, oh, I actually had a good experience at this store. Like maybe I'll go back and like, you know, the corporate office is never gonna be like, you can't can't quantify how like valuable that is. So they're just like, oh, don't do that.
That's always my philosophy, man. Just, take care of people. Just be honest to them. It kind of goes against the retail way, right?
Yeah.
It's like, this is great. We're having fun here. It's a wonderful place. Buy everything.
I'd be a kid.
Yeah.
I put in that story too. That was like, this was like the back, and like the customers thought like the quote unquote the back was like this mystical place where like there's just a million things like of excess.
We got everything you ever want.
Right.
We're hiding it, keeping it away from you so you can't have it.
Yeah.
It was
like,
the magic phrase.
If you're out of anything, oh, you got it in the back? You're like, let me check for you. And that people were like, even if you knew they didn't have it, it's like, well, if you checked, people would be like, love you for it.
Yeah.
So like, even if I knew something was out, I would go in the back and just kind of stand there for a couple minutes and then come out and be like, sorry, buddy.
Hey, buddy. That's how it goes.
Hey, buddy.
Aww.
So I'm going to have to stop in that store maybe a couple times before they finally close. We'll see what happens.
Just give them like a salute.
Yeah.
Proper final ending.
Yeah, man. So I'm looking at your email here. It says you definitely captured what we all felt back then. A bond over collectively hating the place we worked. That's so poetic. Are you a poet now? What's going on here? This is great writing here.
It felt right. It just felt right.
It just flowed out of you.
I just started typing and I was flowing. Yeah.
Well, yeah, man, it was a magical time, I have to say. There's no going back. You can never go home again. Like, you can never go back to that spot, But we'll live forever, perhaps. And I think that show 128 is like that might be one of my favorite ones we ever did, because it's like that's our story. That's our real life,
Where
and
we came from.
Being able to share that with other people is awesome. And,
yeah, it's like the 2017 version of like writing the history of the store.
Yeah.
Putting it on record.
Because if we never do it, like those memories fade over time. Because like you just brought up a bunch of stuff I forgot about.
Same.
And then you lose it forever, right?
Yeah, so good.
So now
good
we
times.
have it all. We have it all on record. But, dude, I'm so glad you came on here. You looked me up, and
me too.
I'm gonna have to bother you
Glad you
now
came on.
more often, and back in the fold here.
Yeah, man. I mean, it doesn't have to be for the show. We can just catch up.
No, only on the air. Doesn't matter. No, absolutely, yeah. We should definitely talk. And I'll tell you right now, when the store finally shuts its doors for good, we're gonna have everybody on. You and me, John, Kevin, and Mikey's gonna come in. And we'll find some other people. Yeah, I talk to him for once. Maybe like once a year. I talk to him, but
that's cool.
We'll have the whole group on, and we'll bury the giraffe once for all. Okay, we'll send him off.
Bury the giraffe.
A Viking funeral.
Yeah, we should go to the store.
Oh shit, we'll do it outside the store.
Oh, dude, there probably is a ton of stuff that they're like giving away that we could sell.
The empty husk of the store will go, and yeah.
Oh gosh,
people
even
be like,
now.
Yeah, people would be like, "Who are you?" I'd be like, "I used to work here. Don't worry."
I was a legend here. Go in the bathroom, you'll find my phone number on the stall.
You'll see the dent from my head inside the back room or something like that.
That's right. My blood, sweat, and tears built this building. And I left and you guys ruined it. Put it out of business. That'd be one hell of a movie idea. I just thought of something like you bring back an old staff to save a store. It's closing. Imagine that. They're like, we got to bring you guys back to save us.
That would be really cool, actually.
We're going to pay you minimum wage.
Make a movie out of it?
No, just imagine that. Yeah, it's a movie, yeah. They call it, they look at like the history of the store and like the highest grossing year. They had this specific staff. And they try to bring them all back to revive the store.
I think it'd be like behind the giraffe, instead of like behind the music.
Sure, yeah.
And there's like a documentary, and we all have like little parts where we talk, and
don't smell too good behind the giraffe. It's a dirty place to be. But awesome, man. This was great.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
10 years in the making here.
Yeah.
I asked him to come on. He was a little like hesitant about it. It's like, you sure? I was like, yeah, it's no big deal.
Well, I wasn't sure if I'd even be good. I don't know. All these stories just involve like crazy stuff that we did, so I wasn't sure if people would be interested or.
it's more interesting to us probably more than anybody because we lived it.
Yeah.
But I don't care. This is mostly about me anyway, so whatever. I enjoyed it, so that's all that matters.
All right,
buddy. We'll talk to you soon, man.
all right.
Nice to hear
Thanks.
from you.
I missed
All
you,
right,
sir.
John.
Thank you.
See ya.
Leap dog. Talk to you later.
Oh, man. Algar.
Wow.
And then there were two.
That's right. Gotta fix the audio levels here. Looks good to me. Okay.
I had like no problems with my audio while Dan was in the call.
So what are you trying to say here? It's me?
No, it's just really irritating that like all these inexplicable problems.
I didn't even mention it one time during that whole segment. I'm impressed. All right. That was like the most unique thing. Like, yeah, I don't know if this is going to matter to anyone else that listens to this, but us, but like, that's something we'll never be able to really duplicate on the show. Like, someone that was a good friend that you haven't spoken to in a decade just comes out raw. We just call him raw.
And that was the first we'd ever heard of him since.
And to hear his voice for the first time in so long, it's freaking weird, man. It's an awesome thing. Like I feel jazzed right now. Like I feel like 10 years came off my life. Like I'm, Yeah, I don't know. It's awesome, dude. It feels good. Woo! How you feeling? It's hot over there in Stanford.
With the air conditioner off a little bit, but since I had it running for a long time, the room was already cool enough before I took care of it.
So OJ had his birthday a couple weeks ago.
That was a thing that happened.
I'm glad to be older here.
It's cool. I'm glad I'm not dead.
Yeah? Headed that way.
Yeah, I'm very... Well, most of us are.
Most of us? You're trying to say here.
There's a few who are going to figure it out.
You think so, in our lifetime?
I don't know. It'd be pretty cool if it happened.
Who hasn't figured out Dracula? What are you talking about?
Dracula. I mean, I don't know specifics. No, I don't know. Honestly, a friend of mine from college, his goal was to live forever. Like, he was going to study bioscience to try and find a way to live forever. It's just like, nope.
Why is he so afraid of death?
I don't know. Maybe he's got stuff he wants to do.
What's waiting for him there?
I don't know.
OJ's got a lot of stuff going on.
Yep.
Your PC broke down. That's why you're having some issues today, a little bit.
Yeah, I'm actually borrowing a friend of mine's Surface tablet.
We always have issues, though, really, with technology.
Yeah, and I think it's impossible not to.
Is that right? Don't you work in the tech field?
Yeah, we're just exposed to it so much more.
Is that all day, just problems? Fixing?
Yeah.
Is that annoying?
Very.
I imagine it would be.
Yeah, though today I was in training for half the day and then trying to catch up on work that I missed because I was in training, and oh my gosh.
So what happened to the computer? You want to tell us?
So I went to turn it on Friday.
Yeah.
And I hit the power button. It flashed blue, which is good, but then turned off, which is bad. And then nothing happened. It didn't post. It didn't do diddly squat. It was just staying put, not doing anything. So I was worried. So I, tried turning it on and off again. Nothing. I tried unplugging everything from the back of the computer, turning it on and off. Nothing. Well, the weird thing was the lights on the motherboard stayed on. So I'm like, well, it's still getting some power. But now it just doesn't do anything. It doesn't even light up. I'm thinking my power supply fried. I don't know. I'm not that good with hardware, like at all.
Yeah.
And I just... The prospect of taking it apart and putting it back together again brings me so much mental anguish. I'm probably going to have to buy a new power supply.
Maybe
just
you need
to see if that's a problem.
A massage, perhaps?
I don't know if you're supposed to get them that frequently in a row, but...
So I talked to OJ, was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's going on? He's like, I took the day off, went and got myself a massage. I was very intrigued by this.
Yeah.
I actually never had a massage before. Not a professional one. I've had some amateur ones. Well,
that just makes it sound weird.
They were professionals. Let's put it that way. I didn't pay for it. What do you call that?
Awkward?
Yeah. So it's also about your massager.
Okay, so I knew I wanted to get a massage because, I tend to stress out, and I had a lot of stuff going on, and I was like, I'm taking this day to just relax, do whatever I want. I'm going to get a massage. So I woke up that afternoon, and went to the Googles, and I'm like, all right, let's look for top-rated massage places in Stamford. And I found this one place called, Star Massage or Health Spa or Star Spa. I forgot what it was called. I know where it is, though. And it was, there were reviews on Yelp, and they just said, basic, no-frills massage in the top of a building in downtown Stamford. You might miss it. Call ahead. They're often booked up. And so I call and I get a lady with a very thick accent. Like, hello, is this Star Spa? And she says, yes. Can I make an appointment? Yes. Well, are you free around this time? Yes, come in. I'm like, okay. That, no questions, no nothing, just show up. I get there, and it's in the front. It's right next to the frozen yogurt place near Lucky's, where John and I would quite frequently get burgers and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
And you go up this creepy set of stairs, but I couldn't find them. Couldn't find the stairs until I looked, and there's a sign for a vape shop and a massage parlor in this creepy stairway growing up into the building.
It's the same thing together?
They're together, yeah. You go up, and the vape shop's on the right.
Oh, okay.
You go up the stairs, and halfway up, the vape shop's on the right. And then all the way at the back, there's a door. A shut door that looks like it should be locked with a sign with a finger pushing a doorbell, but no doorbell. So I'm like, how do I get in? I poked the sign because I'm like, is there a doorbell underneath? Nothing happened. It's just a piece of paper. I kind of pull open the door, which wasn't shut all the way, and I see a counter with mints on it. I hear soft music playing in the background, and then a lady walks up and says, "You have car? You have card?" I thought she said.
You have a car?
You have card?
Card.
I'm like, yes. Okay, come this way. And I'm like, oh, she meant call. Okay, got it. Yes, I called. Leads me to a room. Says, okay, you pay first. Like, I'll pay first. You have card? I'm like, this time it was card.
Were you speaking in a British accent? Is that why she couldn't understand you?
No, I was not. And she takes my credit card, leaves the room, and says, okay, strip down, and comes back. And I'm like, wait, strip down now? Haven't even paid yet. She comes back, gives me my card, and says, and with a little slip saying, you want to leave a tip? Like, yes. Do you have cash? Yes. You tip in cash later. Like, okay. This sounds shady, but okay. And the room itself, all it has in it is a chair, a little cabinet in the back where all the massage oils and whatnot are, and a little mini fridge, which I was confused by. And yeah, just
why were you confused by the mini fridge?
Why would there be a mini fridge? I didn't get it. So she comes back.
Did you ask her?
So I found out. Yeah.
What do you mean you found out?
So
how did you find out?
Oh yeah, I found out. Dang it! We'll get there.
Oh, this is part of the story. All right.
I found out it was in the fridge. Yeah,
okay. Keep going.
So I'm like, wait a second. So I signed the credit card slip, and there's a spot for a tip. And she's like, you tip cash. I'm like, okay. So then I'm like, well, I'm not going to hand her a credit slip signed without tip written in. So I wrote cash on it and wrote the total in and handed it back to her. I'm like, oh gosh, I'm like, yeah, I brought enough cash. How much do you tip at these things? Oh dear. So she's like, okay, now you strip. I'm going to leave. I'm like, okay. She leaves. I strip down to my underwear. She puts a towel down. She had put a towel down on the table. She says, cover yourself with this before she leaves. And then I just lay face down on the table. And these massage tables are weird because it's just like a cushioned surface with a hole cut in the front for your face. Like you shove your face into it. Like you're the most, I'm sorry, this is incredibly crude, but
sure.
It's like you're motorboating the table.
Wow.
You just kind of shove your face down there. And
still waiting to hear about this mini fridge thing.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy. It's the most bland thing imaginable.
All right, keep going.
And then a lady comes in and says, okay, flip over, arms down, and then she just starts attacking my back for an hour. And I'm sitting there, I'm lying there like for an entire hour, no stimulation, like no talking. All there is soft music in the background, and it's just me and my thoughts. And ow, 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 ow. Okay, that's better now. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, that's better now for an hour. And finally, she's like, "Okay, you're done." This is a different lady, by the way. She.
Where's the first lady?
Oh, she just disappeared. I never saw her again. She's just gone. Yeah, I guess. I heard some dude arrive and talk really loudly and go into another room.
Whoa.
Never saw him leave either. And finally she says, okay, I'll come back. Go, you get dressed now. I get dressed. And I give her a tip, which I guess 20% seems fitting, right? Like I gave about a little over a 20% tip. I don't know. And then she goes into the fridge and takes out a tiny bottle of water.
Yes.
And gives me a tiny bottle of water.
It was a gift.
That was it. It was because apparently you get dehydrated during a massage or something. I don't know.
In my mind, it's like you, when I listen to you say it, like it's playing out in my mind. So like you walk in there and you have like your towel on. I've seen you in just a towel and nude underneath before.
Well, I had underwear.
This time or the time I saw you?
Yes? Oh, no.
So, I just imagine in my mind, it's like you're in there and you're like staring at the mini fridge, and the whole massage, you're just like stressed about this mini fridge, and you keep looking over. Like, what do they do? They put my organs in there? What do they do with that?
What does it want? Yeah, it's weird because I'm like,
does it have some sort of
just
beverage
sitting
in
there.
I don't like? They're gonna make me drink it. What is it?
Yeah, probably right.
Or maybe there's beverages I really want and like. Could I have it? Could I see what's in there?
Please,
is that accurate
the
enough? That's what's going on in my mind.
I think what was going on in your mind is more interesting than what was going on for me.
Think they'll let us film something in there?
People film something.
Will they let us do it? Since you know them.
I doubt it.
They're like, hello, it's me, John. Remember I drank the water here from the mini fridge? Can we film in there? Let's see what they say.
I don't think that would happen.
So how did you feel after the massage? Did you feel good? And
it was great. Yeah, though my neck was popping a little bit, which I thought it wasn't supposed to do. Because, I just got a dang massage, but my neck was still popping.
Well, they're not chiropractors. I mean,
No, but I felt a lot better. I really did.
Good. Excellent.
Yeah. I don't know how often you're supposed to get them, and I don't want to throw all my money into having somebody attack my back and, like, pop my shoulders out.
Yeah.
But I feel like I should do it more often than I have been doing. Because I get stressed out.
See, I can't do it. I don't like to be like that. I don't like to be that level of nude. I don't like to be touched.
Yeah, that kind of includes a massage, huh?
No, yeah. So it doesn't go for all situations and people, but for the most part, yeah. Not a fan of that kind of stuff. Ed was all weirded out because I don't like really swim. So I went to California and he's like, oh, you got a pool here. Yeah, you got your suit with you? I'm like, no, I don't own one. So what's going on with you, man? You're not going to be here next month. You're taking off.
I'm going on a magical journey. One of the folks I met who works at the dance studio I go to, we started talking about like anime and comics and stuff. He's like, hey, you want to go to Japan? I'm like, yeah. He's like, no, really, you want to go to Japan? I'm like, yes. So we're going to Japan, apparently.
Living the life here.
Well, he found the cheapest airplane tickets I've ever seen, like $400 cheaper than my last set of tickets to Tokyo. And we got an Airbnb, super cheap. We're going with another person from the dance studio. And we're leaving on a Tuesday and we're coming back, I think, Halloween. Or the day before Halloween.
Totally.
Just about 2 weeks, except we have a layover.
Where?
In Beijing.
Whoa. Have you been there
I've never been to China before. No, I'm a little worried because I know that I heard that China's really strict about stuff, and I just worried him to like do something stupid by accident and not realize it, and then just be like, well, sorry, kid.
Well, do not take the knee during the national anthem. You'll be okay. So it doesn't look like OJ is going to be on the next episode of the program here. I'll have to figure that out.
Well, I'm only gone for 2 weeks. I'll be here for other periods of time.
It doesn't seem like OJ will be on the show next month.
Well, if you're doing it in the latter part of the month, then I won't be there. Yeah.
Yeah, most likely. We'll have to figure it out. But OJ always returns to us. We're lucky like that, friends. Me and you together, both. OJ always returns to us.
Pray I don't die, everybody.
Oh, you'll be fine. You're going to have a wonderful time.
I hope so.
You could probably do the show from Japan, but I don't know if that's really something you want to do.
A good use of my time. Yeah, well, right now it's 14 hours ahead.
It's not a good use of time.
Right now it's 10. Well, dude, it costs it. You're literally spending money to be present in a place. No, I mean, you're spending money to be in Japan and doing something you do at home.
All right, we're going to have to edit that part out. It's too insulting.
Bro, it's not.
So anyway, let's get into some. Let's finish. You were the one that said it, okay? Don't get on me for hearing what you said.
You. It shouldn't. There's nothing offensive in saying that when you're on a vacation.
I understand what you're saying, but I feel like you should want to pay thousands just to be on this program. It's that important.
Oh gosh, I put that idea in your mind.
Start charging people to come on. All right, so let's do we end the show here. Let's do the part where I read the movie and TV news to OJ.
Bring it on.
Sometimes I feel like OJ. Don't be insulted by this. Okay.
Too late.
At times during certain parts of the show, I feel like OJ is not a co-host. He's one of the viewers, and I'm performing the show for him. No, it's good because I get your reactions to things. It's good.
Okay. Yeah, I get it.
It all works out, okay?
I believe you.
All right. So some sad news going on. The co-creator of Wolverine, also the co-creator of the Swamp Thing, passed away. Mr. Len Wein created Wolverine. Mm-hmm. Wolverine, of course, debuted in Hulk number 181, 1974. It's a very valuable comic book I'd love to own someday. If anyone would like to purchase it for me, we have a P.O. box that you could send it to. It fits in there perfectly. But, just like reading about the man and his intentions for Wolverine, it's like the most innocent of beginnings. They're like, why did you create Wolverine? And he's like, well, I felt there should be a character from Canada in the comics. And that was pretty much it. And look what this character became from that simple idea, And I think that goes to show
blown up.
It goes to show you because people are like, I got to create something. And so you always try to go for some elaborate thing, right? Some elaborate design. And then sometimes it becomes too complicated or it's too big and you just don't even bother trying, right? Sometimes you got to start with the simple thing. Wanted to make a Canadian superhero. Boom. His name's Wolverine. They got Wolverines there. And you think about the importance of the character.
Do they?
I don't know. Probably. I don't know. Maybe. So, you think about the importance of the character is huge because if you look at the original X-Men movie, pretty much started the modern superhero movie in a lot of ways. Like the success of that led to, oh shit, okay, we can make the Spider-Man now. Right? Which led to, oh, this could be successful. Hey, Disney's going to buy Marvel because they see profit in this. Like, it all began, like if that X-Men movie bombed, I don't know where we'd be today.
Would never happened.
Maybe it would have set things back. So, it obviously wasn't the Wolverine movie. There's other characters, but he was definitely like the focal point of the movie. And, that was the character they highlighted the most. Much to the chagrin of OJ here.
Yeah, I know.
But, man, and look at the character, the many different versions of the character, things they've done with him, and like that Logan movie that just came out, and like how deep and wonderful that was. So
yeah, that was insane.
It shows what you can do with these characters. And apparently Len Wein was in the Days of Future Past movie. He was like in the background as like a general or something in one of the scenes. So I didn't know that. But I read about it. I was like, oh shit, okay. So that's cool, man. Must be great to create something like that. Imagine that.
And just have it take off so much.
Well, because that character's going to live forever, right? For 100, it's going to go on for and on and on and on. And people who created that character, and that dude's going to have that forever.
Be like him. I did.
Immortalized. We talked last show about this Joker movie that they announced was like out of the DC continuity. This is getting crazy. Have you heard about this at all?
You said we talked about it, but I don't remember it.
Do you remember when we talked about it? So I'm talking.
I know he must have.
Oh, Jesus, a viewer at this point. So they announced this Joker movie that's like outside of the continuity of the other DC movies. We were talking about how like that might be a better idea for them to go instead of trying to have this like shared universe thing when they're kind of behind Marvel. And you had some thoughts on it. I don't know. You probably don't remember. It's not. It's not a good use of your time to be here, as we know.
John,
I'm just busting your chops.
Come on, man.
All right, take it easy.
Seriously,
cool it down. Just cool it down. Cool it down. So anyway, they've announced that Martin Scorsese is involved with this movie.
What?
Scorsese's involved with this Joker movie. And a guy who's the actor who's kind of like in heated discussions to take the role, Leonardo DiCaprio.
As the Joker?
As the Joker with Scorsese behind the movie. It sounds nuts. Confused. It sounds wild. So what's weird about even weirder about this is I was reading that Scorsese is teaming with DiCaprio to work on a Teddy Roosevelt biopic that they're going to do first.
Wait, what?
So they're going to do a Teddy Roosevelt movie and then go to a Joker movie. It looks like.
I mean, dude, Roosevelt kicked effing butt.
Yeah, but isn't that like there's a strange mix there. We're going to Teddy Roosevelt to the Joker. It's fun. Both those movies sound good.
I'd watch. I'd probably watch them.
I'm down with that. And it seems like there's always just like this wackiness going on from these articles I've been reading to you guys. You think about Hollywood. This is a place where people aspire to be, and they fight and claw and crawl over each other to get there. Be a success in Hollywood, right? So these like wackiness that goes on, man. We talked about the Star Wars story where the directors got fired, right? Because of the Ace Ventura-like Han Solo that was going on. The infighting that was happening. And then we talked about the last time it was the Superman with a mustache. Where they're going to have to digitally remove his mustache from all the reshoots.
Oh my god.
That's just like wacky stuff, man. So there's some more Star Wars news here. They fired the director of Episode 9, who was going to be Colin Trevorrow. The director.
Wait, 9? Wait, 9? I thought... Wait, 9 is having problems too?
Yeah, 8's coming out. It's already done. They'll be out in December. Then Episode 9 was supposed to be in like 2 years. They haven't started filming yet. The director's been canned on that one.
Ugh.
Colin Trevorrow is being replaced by J.J. Abrams is coming back to do that.
No, I don't like J.J. Abrams that much.
Well, she doesn't like it. But Star Wars has become like a messy situation, right? Because you have these movies, the creator of the thing makes the movies, very successful, very popular, kind of like beloved movies. And then from that moment, those end, like that original trilogy, just trying to like recapture something, it seems like. And they really have never been able to do it again. Like they've tried.
No, it was just pure magic.
They've tried to monetize this thing and, they've made a lot of money. It's not like they failed at that.
True.
It's just become like a messy thing. That's kind of my point. You have like, put these prequels out, you got people hate them. Then they try to basically run Lucas out of there. He's the guy that created the thing. He's basically kicked off his own thing. And he's like disgusted, just sells it off. Right? You got this like Rogue One movie, which I guess is okay.
It's okay.
The Force Awakens, I guess it's okay. But none of them really, I'm just trying to say, like, none of them really, like, match the original thing.
Not at all.
And it's just all this arguing. It's like people fighting, fans with each other. This is bad, this is good. Lucas sucks. Then you get into this now where, like, directors are being fired. Right? See what I'm saying?
Things not even done yet, and people are already, like, going nuts over it.
There's just a lot of strife going on for something that seems like it should be pretty smooth sailing, right?
Yep.
So I got an article here. It says earlier this week it was revealed Colin Trevorrow. This is from like last month. Colin Trevorrow was exiting Star Wars Episode 9, and the studio cites creative differences as the reason for the split. Over the last couple of days, however, some new details have come to life. A ranking Hollywood insider has revealed that Trevorrow had become increasingly difficult to work with over the past few years, and his attitude ultimately led to his demise.
What did he do?
Wow.
Was he like hiding scripts or something?
During the making of Jurassic World, he focused a great deal of his creative energies on asserting his opinion, the source explained. But because he had been personally hired by Spielberg, no one could say, "You're fired." Once that film went through the roof and he chose to do Henry, his next movie, Trevorrow was unbearable. He had an egotistical point of view, and he was always asserting that. So they wanted to fire him, but they couldn't, because Spielberg endorsed him.
Excuse me. Huh, but how did Henry do?
After the Book of Henry became a critical and financial flop, some started to question whether or not Trevorrow would remain as the Star Wars director. This source reveals that Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy had wanted him out due to his difficult personality on set and some issues with the script, but Henry was finally the straw that broke the camel's back. When the reviews for Book of Henry came out, there was immediately a conjecture that Kelly was going to dump him because they weren't thrilled with working with him anyway. The insider continued. It's like high school here. He was really, really, really confident. Let's call it that. And then it says, as of now, there's no official word will replace Trevorrow. We know that it's going to be J.J. Abrams. Because that happened later in the future from this is the past. Well, it's just wacky stuff, right? I mean, I don't know.
I don't even know. Like, so were they able to take him off the project, or did he do it himself?
No, they took it. It was nothing up to JJ. When Kathleen Kennedy, who also fired the other two guys that were doing the Han Solo movie. She just fired this dude, and then they kind of like thought about it for a while. And they just put JJ back in there. But what has me concerned, it seems like they don't have. It seems like they're going to start writing the script and stuff, and I don't know. It seems like you should have these things like ironed out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, before you get to this point, it seems a little late.
But we're all going to buy the tickets and we'll watch the movies.
I mean, it doesn't bode well. Like, you think that episode 7 was just like a fluke that it was so good after all this nonsense, or what?
Well, you didn't really like it much. I mean,
it wasn't bad. It was just the safest movie ever made.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, I think they're all good. I like Rogue One. I just watched it again like last week. I like all the movies. I'm just saying, it's like this thing that had its pinnacle a long time ago, and now we're just trying to get back to that place, but we can't because it already was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, do you agree with that, or am I just being like a dick here?
No, you're not. You're not.
But I hope not. I hope this next one's really awesome. And
yeah.
This kind of stuff, it's weird, So
it's a little.
You saw the Defenders. Do you have any thoughts on the overall series? It
was better than Iron Fist.
Yes. Was it better than anything else?
No.
Oh, it's sad.
I mean, it just seems like they got everybody together and like, well, now what? Like, and they had some cool stuff that they were going to do, and they had some cool characters, and they just kind of.
You didn't have a good villain, man. The Hand is such a cool thing, but they made it into this Toys R Us-esque management, that infighting failure of a company that were just like arguing with each other, and you're like, this is the enemy. I don't know. It's just to be simplified. The Hand is coming to destroy the city.
Why? Because they want to destroy the city.
Because they're bad, or they're going to destroy a building, or
But we like that building. We better stop them.
They're going to kill people.
No!
Microphone just fell. Did it sound weird?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, all right.
I mean, also they still nerfed Iron Fist, and they nerfed Jessica Jones, which really ticked me off.
Huh.
Like in her series, like if she punched somebody, like they showed her being as strong as, if not stronger than Luke Cage. But in this, it's like Luke Cage punches somebody, they go through like a wall. Jessica Jones punches somebody, they kind of crack the wall a little bit, and then they get up again.
Yeah, it was like really strange. There's like strange stuff in it. There's like a scene. There's a scene in the last episode. I don't know if you remember, but they're in an elevator.
Yep.
So Matt, Jessica, and Luke Cage in the elevator, and they're going down. And then Luke is like, he's like, because they're going down to fight like many hand soldiers. And Daredevil knows this because he's got the radar senses. So he's like, there's a lot of guys down there. So Luke's like, I got a plan, but you're not going to like it. Right? So like, oh, what's the plan? So then the elevator comes down. Jessica Jones gets out by herself. And like she says a couple things, and the other two just jump out and just start punching people.
It's like, what did that even get you?
It's like, what was the plan? Why wouldn't they like the plan? This is very odd.
Maybe they didn't like the fact that the plan was basically nothing.
Oh, it's like the plan's bad. That's why yeah, you're not going to like because it's really bad.
Then why did they bother? What they should have done is had Jessica fastball special Luke.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, okay. Or maybe he throws her because she's not going to like it or something. I don't know.
No, she should have thrown him because he can take the hits better.
And then Claire,
she's supposed to be a glass cannon.
You expect Claire to be the one that brings them together because she knows everybody, but it's not really even that. Like, she makes Iron Fist meet Luke. That's about her involvement. And then she doesn't even really speak to the other characters. Like, her and Matt don't actually, like, converse in any way. Like, oh, hey, remember you? I know you.
Oh, yeah, you're bloody dude. I remember you, bloody dude.
And then the whole thing with the dragon skeleton.
Yeah, I'm guessing they were going to siphon its bone marrow out to live forever.
That's what keeps them alive.
Sure.
But it destroys the city to do that. And every city has these dragons.
Does every city have these dragons?
Well, they said, like, oh, yeah, we've done this. They've done it before. And, like, there'll be other cities. They kind of mentioned that. Cities fall and they come back and shit.
Like, I'm guessing that when you take the marrow out of the dragon's bones, or you just turn the dragon bone into the substance or whatever, the bones collapse, and that takes down the entire island.
And I can accept all that, but, I mean, it's a series that started with, like, Daredevil, where it was so raw and grounded.
Yeah, like it kind of it's aside from like the sonar, it seemed pretty legit.
Well, yeah, there's some of that, but as far as like the universe goes, there was no. Imagine they were talking about dragons back in that thing, you'd be like, huh?
Dragons.
So, we don't need that. Yeah, it was like a kid and his boxer father and the mob, and you know, where does dragon bones come into play here? Yeah, I don't know. It was just like got a little out of control. It was watchable. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but
Iron Fist kind of broke the whole universe in a way.
Yeah, I didn't realize that dude was Loris Tyrell.
Yeah, Sir Loris.
It explains a lot.
And Sigourney Weaver, like, there's so many shots of her just eating food.
Yeah,
or just sitting, like, once you play the piano. Then it's her, like, eating various meals for, like, 10 minutes at a time. And then she just dies. And there's why she just gets punked. It doesn't, like... I was like, why are we watching her eat?
It was all worthless.
She's gonna die.
Yeah.
I don't know. So hopefully they get together with the next one. Brings me to The Punisher. There's some interesting stuff going on. You might be interested in this news.
Oh, ho?
So The Punisher is supposed to come out in 2017. It's already nearly October. There's no release date. No one knows when it's actually going to be coming out. So there's various rumors going on out here. So here's an article. It says New York Comic Con takes place October 5th through October 8th. You're going to this, right?
Yes.
Marvel TV has always made a point to make a big splash during the event, often closing down the show with a big night in the main hall of the Javits Center. It was during 2016 that we first saw the Defenders stars unite on stage, as well as getting the big reveal that Sigourney Weaver was playing the villain of the show. That ended badly, huh? Having heard the roaring crowd have felt the swell of excitement firsthand. it's easy to believe that Marvel will want to top its own hype from last year and surprise everyone with the premiere of The Punisher would definitely do that. Yeah. Knowing what kind of showman Marvel TV head Jeff Loeb is, it wouldn't be surprising if the crowd at NYCC's Marvel TV panel were rewarded with the first viewing of The Punisher's first episode. And when fans are roaring and cheering after the episode over, Loeb will announce to the crowd that it's time to go home and watch the entire rest of the series.
That's not happening.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm.
Why not? Why not?
Because that would be so awesome.
It's too good.
It's too good.
But it makes perfect sense because there's no release date. We got to get this thing out. You know,
they have to announce if nothing's announced, it's not coming out till 2018.
No,
so it's either
it has to come out this year. It has to.
What, like contractually?
Yeah.
Okay, then go for it.
So what I would do is, it'd be awesome, like Thanksgiving or like Black Friday or something. Just don't tell anyone. Just put it out. I would do like Black Friday. I think that'd be pretty. Christmas Day would be pretty awesome too. I think that'd be nice.
No, dude, do it on New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, yeah, and any of those. I think Christmas would be nice.
New Year's Eve would just be thumbing their nose at, it has to be out in 2017. Meh.
You're too hung up on this year thing. But that would be interesting. So if you're going to be at Comic-Con, so I would, I don't know, see what you find out maybe.
Yeah, I'm going to be missing a fair amount of Comic-Con because apparently my friend's birthday party is the Sunday.
Why does that take precedence over the Comic-Con?
Because it's a really good friend of mine.
You didn't know this, but it's a really good friend? You just found out.
I found, they needed a weekend to have their birthday party, and it ended up getting scheduled for that weekend. I'm like, well, okay, I'll come.
All right, so that's not too much news here. I'm excited about Blade Runner's coming out next week.
Did you watch the little preview, like the mini?
Anime?
There's the anime,
No.
and
Can you send that to me somehow?
I think you might be able to watch it for free on Crunchyroll, but it'll have ads.
That's fine. I didn't know how to watch it. I like Blade Runner a lot. It's kind of it's like a weird movie.
Very weird.
Yeah, I like the universe to it. It's just kind of like it's just strange.
You're more positive about it than I am. I look at it and I go, like, you're bringing back Blade Runner? Wait, what's going on? How? What's happening?
Oh yeah, I'm a fan. And our friend Kevin that we talked about for a half hour there, he's a big fan. And we're gonna be going to the midnight next Thursday because it comes out Friday.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to the midnight Thursday night, I guess it would be. So I'm excited about that. See how that is. We'll talk about it next time. OJ won't be here though. But I'll have to figure something out for you folks. I'll have to find out who else I haven't talked to in 10 years I can have on the show.
Oh,
to co-host it. Well, I hope OJ has a great trip.
Thank you. I'll do my best.
I think you will, right? Why not?
Yeah, it should be good.
Excited about it?
Yeah, we're really bad at planning, but it's okay. I mean, I've been to Tokyo like 4 times already, so I'll manage. Yeah, we'll be fine.
Time to figure it out. You got a nice long flight to think about it.
With the layover in Beijing.
You could, put a lot of time into thinking about what you're going to be doing.
I always say I'm going to do that, but instead I either sleep or play video games or read.
Well, you got to try to get your mind off the fact that you're sitting there for that long, you know?
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'll let you know if I need anything. I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't think I do.
Let me know. Okay.
I think I'll be all right. But, all right, folks. That's it here. You know?
Cool.
OJ, have a great time. We'll miss you.
Thanks. I'll miss you guys, too.
It's great to have Dan on today.
Yeah, it's nice to hear from him. It's a real trip.
And that's that, man. I can't think of anything else to say here.
Me either.
OJ, send us out.
Thank you very much, everyone, for listening to John Rambo Presents the Show, the best show that we are both a part of. So, thank you very much for listening again, and I'll catch you the next time that I'm available, since I might not be here next time.
This has been a production of StayBallsy.com, the best in free and optional entertainment. Have a pleasant evening, and remember, stay ballsy. Don't take any shit from anyone.